Let's start with Airtel though, because Airtel did not report very good set of numbers. Sequentially, profit was down, revenue in fact was down about 46%. Year on year, no change.
So, Shweta, the results that came out yesterday were mostly positive. Airtel, although disappointed the streets, net profit fell on a sequential basis. It fell about 46%, but on a quarter-on-quarter basis, sorry, on a year-on-year basis, it was flat at about 0.34%. Now, this was largely due to the devaluation of the Nigerian currency, which also was the reason why the African business of Bharti Airtel posted loss. Now, although African business posted loss, it did surprise the street positively, and it exceeded the expectations of the analyst in terms of the margin and the EBITDA. Now, the revenue of the company was up about 14.1% at 37,440 crores versus 32,805 crores. Now, this was primarily driven by addition in the subscribers. Now, in the April and May period, the company added about 1.5 lakh subscribers. Also, one of the reasons why the revenue went up and also the margin went up by about 210 basis points was because the ARPU jumped by about 10% on a year-on-year basis to about 200 rupees. Now, this was primarily because if you remember, Airtel in the beginning of the year had gotten rid of its lower tariff plans, and the cheapest plan you can buy from Airtel was about 150 rupees. Now, that definitely helped Airtel post a solid set of numbers, at least as far as margin is concerned. So, 210 basis point, and even the street has reacted positively. Despite a miss, Bharti Airtel is up about 0.5% in the opening trade, and it's largely tracking the gains in the indices.
This ARPU debate is quite interesting, Shweta, Suyash. I feel, forever Airtel has been trying to increase ARPU, and this figure of 200 rupees average revenue per user touching 200 has come after 10 years. The last time that Airtel saw an ARPU of 200 rupees was in 2014. It's taken almost 9.5 years for ARPU to reach 200 again, and we are talking about a very different era of telecom prices of 2014. And data prices, telecom prices, call prices have only dropped sequentially year on year. Now, I think Airtel's long-term target is to take ARPU to about 300, and the reason that Sunil Bharti Mittal has given is that, if you primarily have only two solid dominant players in the market, one being Jio, the other being Airtel, on the backs of whom the entire Digital India movement is pretty much finding its feet, then these two units, and Airtel specifically, which is not as diversified as Reliance, will have to remain profitable and will have to continue growing. Let's look at, in fact, the market share of Jio and Airtel as well. Suyash referred to the fact that more subscribers got added. Let's look at the latest TRAI data and try and see what the market share of Airtel and Jio is. Last I remember that pie chart that we had made, that pie chart shows that about 32% of the market share is still owned by Airtel. Reliance Jio, on the other hand, is about 38% or so, whereas Vodafone has been consistently losing users, and the base plan also that you spoke about. I think the base plan that Airtel has now been able to increase from 99 rupees to 150 rupees is on the back of a 4G plan. So it seems like very, very categorically the company is doing away with slower data speeds and smaller packs to increase this ARPU. So ARPU reaching 200 at a time when Vodafone customers are jumping ship, joining either Airtel or Jio, and Airtel being able to increase entry-level rates when there is a behemoth called Reliance, which owns Jio in the market, yet to react to a price change. I think it shows a lot of resilience, it shows a lot of confidence on account of Airtel, and this would be something that the market is taking into account. And hence, none of these numbers can be seen in isolation.
Come to think of it, we talk about a 200 rupees ARPU, which was same as what it was 10 years ago. The market has substantially changed since then. There were a number of players in fray. Currently, it's a duopoly, therefore making it easier for these companies, existing players, to shore up more revenues. How do you see the tariff war playing out? As customers, are we likely to see tariffs going up from here on, now that you only have two players?
So I think we'll have to wait to see how Reliance Jio reacts to Airtel's increase in prices. It hasn't reacted yet. What what I see as the game being played between Reliance and Airtel is that Reliance now wants to go into the tier 3, tier 4 cities and wants to, with not the smartphones but the feature phones, try and capture a larger share of the tier 3, tier 4 cities. And over there, a price war on account of increased tariffs is not going to work. So it seems that for smaller cities, Reliance Jio is going to continue keeping lower prices. But in the bigger cities where it goes head on with Airtel, or rather Airtel goes head on with Reliance Jio, even Jio could increase prices, because eventually the game will have to boil down to adding subscribers and each subscriber adding enough revenue on a month-on-month basis for both the market players to grow. Right now, we tend to call it a duopoly because technically, you know, both combined have a market share of about 70% or so. Industry still doesn't want to recognize this as a duopoly. Industry still says that there is a Vodafone idea which is on a path to recovery, and the government has been able to infuse some capital to make Vodafone's, to take over Vodafone's debt and convert that into equity. So the government is not going to let this become a duopolistic market. But every month Vodafone losing consumers, more subscribers adding to Airtel and Jio suggests quite clearly that we are moving into a duopoly market.
All right, we're moving
And
into
it's not just the India business that's doing well for Bharti Airtel. It's enterprises business, it's home business, it's you know, Africa business. All across the board we are seeing growth. Now it just Airtel Africa business, it not only exceeded the expectations of the street, but it also, like, they added 143 million new subscribers during the past quarter. So that's a big across the board growth coming in from Bharti Airtel.
All right, so Bharti Airtel continues to spread its wings outside of India as well. Vodafone continues to lose customers. It's going to be a tight water for Vodafone, and they've got to really up their game if they want to sustain in this business. They're losing customers on a daily basis.